What's up? What's up? It's Mark Barda. Welcome back to the Queer Hemisphere, your weekly insight into anything queer. I took a bit of a hiatus, a bit of a break for the holidays. I hope you guys had a great holiday season. It's 2023. Odd years are always good years for me for some reason. 2018, worst year of my life. 2020 was the beginning of the coronavirus. So I'm starting to think that odd years are in my favor. So I've got some great things coming up this year. So I'm really excited. And I can only hope great things for you this upcoming 2023 as well. Well, let's not wait. Let's get right on it. I'm doing things a little bit different today. I only am going to be talking about one subject, and that subject is, yes, Santos. We're talking about George Pathological Liar Santos. So don't go anywhere, grab a coffee, and come right back. All right, folks, so today we're talking about George Santos and all the lies that he's told. There is quite a list. Now, let's start off about his college or education background. He lied about where he went to school and he lied about where he went to college. Now, I don't know if this was just to boost his political career. Boebert ran without being college educated, so I don't know why he felt like he needed to lie and state that he has a college education. He has, I believe, gone and made a statement that, in fact, he is not a college-educated person. So, yes, we do know that is a lie. He has stated that he has worked at various companies and made lots of money. However, he never worked on Wall Street, but disclosed that he was a vice president making $55,000 at a business development company called Linkbridge. So nobody knows if his money is actually legitimate. It also appears that he has some history of being a landlord, and that his family ran a real estate portfolio of 13 properties. However, no evidence could be found of the buildings. They were not listed on any required campaign financial disclosures. And Santos, who decried the New York eviction moratorium, has actually been evicted twice. So to be a landlord and have 2 evictions on your background seems a little bit sus to me. He also lied about funding an animal charity campaign. He ran a foundation called Friends of Pets United, saving 2,500 dogs and cats between 2013 and 2018. But there were no social media accounts for the organization, no IRS records, and no evidence being registered in New York or New Jersey. I don't understand why you need to lie about charity. People do good work. People volunteer. If you have this great ability, it's called fundraising, you're able to do that and you can raise money for others. If you don't do that, you don't lie and say you do. That is disgraceful. He allegedly swindled a disabled vet when his dog was dying. The dog needed a $3,000 surgery, and Pets United put together a GoFundMe page, and then Santos then refused to give the money to the owner, whose dog died less than a year later. Not only are we talking about an innocent animal, but we're also talking about one of our veterans. How are you going to scam somebody out of a measly $3,000 that was raised in the purpose for helping to save this dog? Give me a break. You're a horrible person. Horrible. Now, there are the marriages. Supposedly he was married to a woman at some point. So anyway, when he flipped New York's 3rd Congressional District in November, he became the first openly gay non-incumbent Republican elected to Congress. His campaign discussed his husband, with whom he lives in Long Island, along with 4 dogs, but Santos never appeared on the campaign trail with his partner, and the Daily Beast could not find a marriage record in New York, and when he arrived at the White House in January, he did not have a ring on his finger, and no partner stood next to him when they swore him in. So, these are lies that are easily... People see through this. You can't say you're married and then lie about it, because people are eventually going to want to see the spouse, meet the spouse. Like, you're a politician. You're going to be in the news. Like, he should be on your Christmas cards with your 4 dogs. Like, I don't understand. How did you think you were going to get away with that? Santos claimed that his mother escaped the 9/11 attacks. He claimed that his mother was in her office in the South Tower on September 11th, and she passed away a few years later when she lost her battle with cancer, as many of the survivors of 9/11, just because of the inhalation of all the smoke and dust and everything, it was cancer causing. A recent development shows that immigration records show that his mother was in Brazil at the time of September 11th and was not working in the South Tower, so she could not have been a victim of 9/11. I mean, you cannot just say it and it is true. Like, shit is backed up. We have documentation for everything. It's the fucking 21st century. We can track anything. So, and you're a politician. You're running for office. We're going to go through every piece of your life. Who is your campaign manager? Like, did they not prepare you for this? His grandmother was definitely not a Holocaust victim. In an interview with a conservative podcast, he said his grandparents survived the Holocaust, and his campaign bio claims that they had fled persecution during World War II. According to genealogy records reviewed by CNN, this did not apply to his family. There's no sign of being Jewish or Ukrainian, and no indication of name changes along the way. Multiple family records show that Santos' maternal grandparents are born in Brazil. The name is common among Catholic families in Brazil. Santos is a very Catholic common name in Brazil. I should know. I lived in Brazil for 11 years. There is a city called Santos. It means saint. So it's a Catholic last name. It's very generic. It's like Smith in the United States. So there you have it. Oh, and then there was that time he lied about getting the double knee replacement surgery because he was a star volleyball player in college, but he never went to college. So there's that. I've got more. He did not have employees who died in the Pulse shooting. In an interview with the WNYC following his election, Santos said he lost 4 employees in the Pulse nightclub shooting in 2016. But the Times found that he lied about yet another historic tragedy. None of the 49 victims of the Orlando club worked at any of the companies he is named in his biography. Are you kidding me? That is disgusting. You disgust me. Jewish or Jewish? The representative has also said a few times over the years he's a conservative Roman Catholic. On Facebook, his mother posted Catholic prayers and discussed the Virgin Mary, and a priest on Long Island said he knows the Santos family well and they occasionally attend at Catholic Mass. And I quote, came out of his mouth. I never claimed to be Jewish, Santos said in an interview with in the Post, in which he also cleaned up his lies about his education. I'm Catholic because I learned my maternal family had a Jewish background. I said I was Jew-ish, not Jewish. Are you kidding? That's horrible. You cannot make that type of comparison. And then you would go speak at Jewish coalitions to try to get their support, and some of your constituents probably voted for you because the fact you represented you were Jewish, but in fact you were just Jew-ish. What does that even mean? Then there's the debacle of his time in Brazil. He allegedly stole a checkbook from one of his mother's employees and wrote fraudulent checks and then ran, as the charges are still active for him in Brazil. Not to mention last week, a photo of him in drag in Rio de Janeiro also popped up, showing us he also used to do drag, which he denies, of course. His campaign has also reportedly caused a lot of trouble after he was sworn in. A staff member named Sam Neal impersonated the chief of staff of House Speaker Kevin McCarthy during the 2020 and 2022 cycles to raise money. Santos campaign staffers charged credit cards on file for donors without their permission and racked up huge unexplained expenses and payments to anonymous people as well as payments to themselves. So what's actually true? What do we actually know about this man? Well, he's a 34-year-old Republican born in Queens who will represent the New York's wealthiest congressional district. Other than that, pretty much everything else is a lie. I'd actually like to see his birth certificate so we can verify even those facts. Well, folks, this is where we are. These are the people we voted for. We've got the Marjorie Taylor Greenes, the Boeberts, the Matt Gaetz, and now the George Santos. He's actually part of our club, which is really quite scary. He's one of the stupid ones. He's an actual Republican, but identifies as queer. So now he's got a voice and he can have some influence, unfortunately. But here's the thing. The internet never forgets. We will always have this information about him, and no, the man cannot be trusted. And lies, and has repeatedly lied throughout his life about anything he could so that he could get ahead. It should be interesting to watch his political career and whether or not he will be ousted. Not to mention every day some new thing comes to light out about this man. So it's kind of entertaining, and it's got to be so embarrassing for him that he can't walk out of his office without being surrounded by cameras every moment of the day asking him why the lie is happening this week, or what is it about this statement that doesn't make sense, or what can he verify about this. It's just got to be so annoying and can only impede him from doing any progress. I'm just going to sit back and watch it as like a reality TV show. I mean, if you see him, he's on national news every day. If you turn on CNN, and reporters are just following him, asking him questions, and they're camped out of his office. So if he thinks this is just going to go away, he should think again. Well, folks, that's it for me this Sunday. I know this was a longer video. I'm back. I did something just a little bit different just because there was so much going on about this George Santos person who is now on my blacklist. He's one of the Kanyes, the Trumps, and now George Santos has landed there. I'm ashamed to be a part of the queer community with someone like him. Anyone who identifies as queer and Republican is kind of a weirdo to me, so there's that. It's never really struck a chord. But if anything else may arise with this gentleman and statements that may come up, I will keep you guys up to date. Be sure to check out lgbtqnation.com. If you see an article that you think I should mention in one of my videos, please let me know in a DM or comment. And as always, start out by being nice. But if you happen to be in front of George Santos, burn the bitch good for me, because he deserves all the reads he can get. Have a great week. I'll see you next Sunday. Stay safe out there. People be crazy. It be hard out on those streets.